Hello, and welcome to Bio 124. Chances are you met me last quarter in Bio 123, but just in case you're a newbie, well, newbie for me, I am Linda Bernhardt. All right, basics. This is pretty much the same PowerPoint I give in Bio 123 with a couple of small changes like the syllabus. So there you go. First thing I'm going to do is talk about who I am. I'm going to make it as short as possible, unlike my Bio 123, but I do tend to rattle on sometimes. And I know you probably don't need it because if you had me last quarter, you already know everything for the most part. But just in case I have any new people, I kind of have to do a recap. I'm going to talk about how the course is going to be run, go over the syllabus, that kind of thing. So first and foremost, these are not pictures of me. I'm here in the corner. Hi. And I'm also really cold. So when you see me doing things like this, it's because I have a blanket. Because, it's chilly today. Today's Monday. Today is the first day that we would have been meeting had our quarter not started on a Tuesday. So anyway, we have Zoe, Fang and Osiris, and then my two kids and my nephew. These are old pictures. I like to use this to give you an idea of some of the beings that are special to me. I think that's all I'm going to tell you about them right now. Here's updated pictures. My nephew Nickel over here, he has no idea, and I point like this, like you can see what I'm pointing to. I guess in reality I should go up there. Anyway, he's the one going, he's funny. Love my nephew. But anyway, Nickel he goes by Nicholas or Nick. I call him Nickel, mainly because when he was little, I used to look at him and go, Nickel's in a pickle because his auntie likes to tickle, and then I would attack him. So that's the whole reason he's called Nickel. And just for fun, I also used to send him packages addressed to Nickel McPoopy Pants. And they would actually get there and he would laugh hysterically. And I'm thinking of doing it again, but I don't know if he'll think it is funny now that he's an adult. He currently is doing a paid internship being an airplane mechanic, and I think that's pretty cool. But anyway, so it was funny, I thought enough about him, now about me. But here's the quick recap for those of you who did not have me last quarter, assuming there's anyone. Would have been smart if I looked at, like the class list or something, but I didn't because I'm not the brightest of people. Okay, so let's see. Quick recap. I have asthma, PTSD, social and general anxiety. I'm on the autism spectrum, and dyslexic, dysgraphic, stuff like that. So my brain works in a funky fashion. I come to things from a different angle. If I am ever actually physically writing something, you will notice oftentimes it's misspelled. Sometimes my numbers can be flip-flopped, so I have to double and triple check. You know how some people say things like 3672? I'm like 3, 6, 7, 2, because I will flip those suckers so fast. So there you go for that part. The anxiety thing, I hate being the center of attention, so it's really crazy that I'm a teacher. Long story as to how I got there, not putting it in this presentation because I just want to get this done so I can get my other videos done. I get anxious. The more nervous I get, the faster I talk, and I can talk really friggin' fast. So in class, when I'm talking about stuff, and I keep getting distracted because my cats are making a lot of noises over there. I think they're about to fight, so if you hear meow, that'll be why. Anyway, if I get really anxious, then I talk really, really fast. So in class, if I'm talking and everyone's just staring at me like this, or if all I'm seeing is this, then it kind of jacks up my anxiety and I start going very, very quick. So if I start talking really fast in class, all you have to do, raise your hand, ask a question. It can even just be, hey, I like your socks. And I know that's not a question, but you just do something. You work as my human speed bump. It'll slow me down, and then I can be at a much more normalized level. And am I aware I'm talking fast now? Yeah. How often have you sat here trying to talk to a little green dot just staring at you? It's really awkward. I'm bad enough when I'm doing the lectures themselves like this, but the talking about myself is really weird. Okay, the other parts about me. I am a high school dropout. I finished 9th grade and I quit. Had a lot of jobs, from cocktail waitress in a strip club at 18 to diesel mechanic in a truck stop garage right before I quit in order to go to college in my 30s. I got a GED as soon as I turned 18 and entered the workforce. And I worked many different jobs, a whole variety of bizarre jobs. I even had my own photography studio in Atlanta. I was the first female extruder operator for this one plastic company. So a very bizarre assortment. So I have had a very interesting life. Tell you this because I come to things from a different angle. I like to bring science more to the real world to help you actually put real world stuff in with science, so you see that science is not just some crazy, scary subject. I friggin' love science, and I really think everybody likes it. They just don't know they like it yet because they have only seen it the scary way. So I try to unscarify. I don't know if that's a real word. I don't think it is, but I'm going to make it a word. I try to unscarify science and help you see where it actually matches. Now, Bio 1, 2, 3, it's a little easier to do that. Bio 1, 2, 4, it gets a little bit more convoluted, but you'll see. And you will hear so much about my mother this quarter, just so you're warned. You do. I will actually talk a lot about a few different people I know throughout this quarter to put a face on some of the stuff we talk about. I think that's it. Okay, let's move on. Syllabus time. Okay, so I don't bother printing out the syllabus because it's a waste of paper, because most people don't even actually look at it. A lot of people just throw it away. Other people just leave it there. And then, of course, we don't even meet for the first 2 weeks. So why would I print it out? It's online, so here we go. I'm going to end show for now. We will come back. And then I go here. This is what your class looks like. This is not going to be exactly what your class looks like because I'm looking at it from my point of view, not yours. So you're going to see stuff that you don't always see. For the most part, it's the same. So this says, welcome to Bio 124 with Lab, Linda Bernhardt. Hi, that's me. And an email address. This email address is important because if you want to contact me about something, this is the best way to do it. Yes, you can send a message through Moodle. And yes, Moodle will alert my email address that you have sent it to me. However, if I reply, I cannot reply through my email to you. I have to log into Moodle in order to actually reply to you. And this is why I say email is best. Sometimes I am not going to have access to my laptop. Sometimes I might not be able to immediately get onto Moodle to reply, but typically I have my phone and I can reply to emails with my phone. So if you really need something, email me and I will reply. Now, that being said, I will reply within a reasonable amount of time. If you shoot me an email and I haven't replied in 10 minutes, there is no need to shoot me another email unless you are clarifying something that you realize you got wrong. I do not live in the computer and I do not have my phone attached to me at all times. So sometimes it's going to take me a little while to respond. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that part. So now, this is a hybrid class. You need to remember that. That means half is online, half is in person. We meet every single Monday, and you have to keep up with the stuff online, hence the hybrid portion. Now, here's the fun thing. We do not meet in person until October, I said 12th. It's not 12th. It's the 19th. Let me double check that and fix that right now because I think I totally messed that up. See, isn't this fun? This is how I do things. Yeah, I'm fixing that. Hey, look at this. You get to see how I fix things. We will say turn on editing. I don't know why I put the 12th. What I think's funny is no one else noticed it in the amount of times I talked about this one. So, we do not meet until October 19th. So we will not meet until week 3. And if you had me last quarter, you already know this because I talked all about it. And now I want to turn it off because I don't want to see all those edits. Okay, there we go. We do not meet until October 19th. The reason being is this is week 1 and I'm recording this on Monday. We do not actually have this quarter start until tomorrow, which is a Tuesday. That means we don't meet on week 1. We have plenty of work on week 1, but we don't meet on week 1. I'll get to the work in a second. Then we have next Monday is Indigenous Peoples Day, otherwise formerly known as Columbus Day, which is also a holiday, so we do not meet next Monday. For those of you who do early voting, I'm one of those. Early voting begins, at least in my area, October 13th. So October 13th, I will be in there voting. I highly recommend everybody else do that too. Do not waste your right to vote. So go vote. There you go. PSA right there. Since we have quarter starting on a Tuesday for week 1, and then we have Indigenous Peoples Day on week 2, we don't see each other until week 3. I understand this can be difficult, so I am doing loads and loads of videos. So I'm doing a lot of video lectures, throwing it on here, trying to explain the labs, stuff like that. Please bear with me because the welcome videos, the first one I'm doing, then I am going back and forth between 123 and 124, making the lecture videos and then the lab videos. So they might not all be up right when the class opens on Tuesday, but they're coming, so please bear with me. I'm doing them as fast as I can. Anyway, here we go. So this is a reminder that this is a hybrid course. You need to have access to stuff online, obviously, because if you didn't, you can't watch this video anyway. We have announcements here. This is where I post announcements. It should, I'm pretty sure, send you an email when I post an announcement, but I would recommend checking it randomly just to make sure. Syllabus. This is what we are about to talk about right here. So when we're trying to see the syllabus, you just go right here. It says you want to read this because, yeah, you do. So here's the syllabus, and I am going to make it big and make it bigger. There we go. All right, so here is our syllabus. Seriously, I have to fix this. And I am going to fix this one right now as well. Look at this. I am so glad I'm doing this because if I wasn't doing this now, I would have all sorts of wrong stuff up here. So we need to fix the syllabus. I wonder if anyone saw what was wrong. This is what's wrong right here. Because there we go. Mondays. This meets on Mondays. And now, save as, you get to see how I work. Isn't that just so exciting? I know it's not exciting, but you know, this is so much easier than me just going, don't forget to do this later. So I'm doing it right now, and then we'll still continue talking about the syllabus. So the syllabus is going to tell you about the book that we're using, which is a brand new textbook, so yay. I have updated everything to match with the new textbook. So some stuff has been switched around. It's not bad. I have so much stuff here. It's insane. Dun, 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 dun. Is that the right one? Nope. This one. Yes, that should be the right one. Sorry. Not so great at talking and doing things at the same time. Trying to, though. But man, that bothered me that was the wrong thing. Okay, now, syllabus. We will pretend that never happened. And then we'll see whether or not I delete it. Okay, so here we go. Now, here's the right one. Mondays, 12 to 4. This includes the lab. My name, room 3. Room 3 means that you walk in the front door, you go through the boop to check your temperature, and you go straight back. That's where we are. So this is a continuation of Bio 123. So you have to have taken Bio 123 before you take 124. We have our learning objectives, our content. In Bio 123, sorry. In Bio 123, we covered the cell, everything up to including the cell, and we did, DNA, genetics. Bio 124, we do the rest. We get to tissues and organs, organ system, we move out, we then do different organisms, we even get to like biosphere, everything. So we worked all the way up to here in Bio 123, and then we do in Bio 124. We cover a lot more material in Bio 124. So here is our new textbook that we are supposed to have. They do have it in the office. I saw it. So get it ASAP because you need the textbook. Now, the second one listed here is a lab manual. The lab manual is pretty cool. It's included with your stuff, but we are not using it in our class. So pick it up or don't, entirely up to you. Just take good care of it because these are rentals and you have to return them. I am trying to find a way to use this lab manual, but I only recently got a hold of it, and I'm going to have to make adjustments because a lot of these labs, as cool as they are for what's known as a wet lab, a lab where you can actually do the more bio stuff. But the classroom we have, for those of you who have been in there, should already know that ours is not the typical lab. So we do dry labs. We can't use chemicals, and there's a whole bunch of stuff we're not allowed to do because we are not certified for it. So that kind of makes this manual harder to use. So most of our labs are things virtual or stuff I make up. So there you go. Now, accommodations. This means if you need special accommodations, you need to talk with Director Anderson. She has this email address, the jjanders@gmc.edu, or you can stop by and sign the little board and meet with her. You will have to get a letter about the accommodations and then contact me and say, hey, I've got this. For the most part, we should be okay, but if you do have any special needs, just go do that. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so the way this class is done, for the most part, it is a lecture/discussion, which means for the first part of the class, typically I will be talking and pretty much expecting you to talk with me as well. Then we also have labs. As previously stated, sometimes the labs are going to be virtual, which means it's going to be computer-based. Other times, it's going to be stuff we're doing in the class. Now, during this time of coronavirus and the pandemic, clearly some of the labs have had to be adjusted. I hate it because there's one lab that we do where we work with our taste buds and we get to eat Skittles and stuff like that, and I am trying to find a safe way to adjust that lab because there is no safe way to do either of those while we're all wearing masks, and you have to keep your masks on. If you feel the need to have something, you have to leave the room. Like, don't sit there and try to sneak snacks in class. It's really annoying. It doesn't get by me. I know, and it's annoying, and I just try not to embarrass people during class, but I'm kind of going to have to start calling people out on it because things are getting worse. Anyway, I'm trying to adjust everything to match our current pandemic. Then we have tests. Tests are mostly going to be multiple choice, but there are some short answer and short essay. And when I say short essay, it means you're going to have to write a couple of sentences. I don't mean half a page. The fact that we have a lecture and a lab, it's fair game for me to ask anything about the lab on the tests, just so you know. Then we have our writing assignment. We have a writing assignment every single quarter in every single class. That's part of our writing across the curriculum, which is on the bottom of this page. So just know you're going to have to write stuff. Yeah, there you go. Grades. I do the point system. Anyone who's had me knows I do the point system. Anyone who hasn't is going to be very annoyed and frustrated by the point system until we get to the end of the quarter, and then you're going to love the point system. So the point system means absolutely everything you do, you earn points. So I will offer a total of 1,000 points throughout the quarter. Technically more because I do extra credits here and there. So as soon as you have earned 900 points, you have an A. Guaranteed A. Even if you don't turn anything in after you do that, your grade will not go down. You will have an A as soon as you hit 900 points. However, I do not round grades at all. I do not do it. So if you get 899.75 points, you have a B because you did not get 900 points. So if you're going to be one of the people who hits 900 and stops, you better make sure it's over 900. So the breakdown, 900 or higher is an A, 800 to 899 is a B, 700 to 799 is a C, 650 to 699 is a D, and 649 points and below is an F. You want these points, go for them. Just get them done. Okay? Now, we have drop add and withdrawal. Basically, if you know you're going to need to withdraw, let me know. If you have a rough start and you're considering withdrawing, but you're not sure, contact me, talk to me. We will go over the possibility and what you can do. I am a huge proponent of do not give up without a fight, and I have been known to chase students down who seem to be giving up without a fight, and then I sit there and try to make you fight. Not in a mean way, but because I think sometimes people set themselves up to fail because they think that's what they deserve, and I want everybody to know that that's not what you deserve. But if you don't do the work, you're not going to pass. That's just all there is to it. So, attendance policy. For this class, you cannot miss more than 2 days. You will be withdrawn from the course on the third absence. The fact that we don't even meet for the first 2 weeks, I'm willing to bet you should not miss 2 more days. Please just try to make it to class. Additionally, if you miss more than 3 hybrid assignments, you will be withdrawn. This is not my choice. This is GMC hybrid policy. They have had to crack down hardcore on the way hybrid classes are taught during this pandemic. That being said, if things get worse and we have to close down and go fully online, I'm already set for that. I already have everything in place so we can do an easy transition. You're good. We will do these types of things. I will constantly do videos, and if we need to, I also have Zoom, and we can do Zoom courses. We can do classes. So even if we end up having everything locked down, make sure that you keep your Monday noon to 4 open for our class. Okay? Just, handy to let you know. Now, we have a 4-hour class. Typically, we will do lecture, then a break, and then lab. Or we might do lecture, a break, more lecture. Point being, when we have this break, if you do not come back, I'm going to mark you absent for the day, because coming to part and not returning is not actually attending class. So just so you're warned, if you leave, come back, or know that you will be counted as absent. And to be fair, we don't have enough people in these classes for it to go unnoticed. If there was like 100 and something people, maybe you could slip away, but when it's somewhere between 8 and 15 people, trust me, it's noticed. Okay, now, additional words from GMC. If you are feeling sick, please do not attend class, but notify your professor prior to missing class. Keep your professor informed as to what's going on. Even though there's deadlines, depending on what's going on with you, the professor has the latitude to work with you. However, and this is a big however, do not wait until 2 minutes before class to alert your professor that you are feeling ill. If you are letting them know 2 minutes before class, then you are trying to use it as an excuse because you're not going to make it to class. Just be smart about it. If you're actually sick, as soon as you realize you are feeling bad, shoot me a message and just say, oh, I woke up and I feel like blah, blah, blah. Or I got up and I was getting ready for class and I realized I'm running a fever. Whatever. We do not want you bringing any kind of sickness to the classroom. We want you to protect everybody else, just like we want everybody else to protect you. Do not abuse this, please. I will work with you if you are truly sick, but you have to keep me informed, and again, not last minute. Yeah, there you go. Tardy, please don't be late. Your class starts at noon. There is zero reason for you not to make it at noon. You know what traffic is like, and there's not even rush hour at 12 o'clock, so just show up. Makeup, exams, and assignments, I do not do them. So when something is due, it is due. Everything is open for about a week, and the exams, the online exams, I think are open for 3 days. There is no reason for them to ever be late. The only reason it will be late is because you just didn't bother getting to it. So I do not take makeup work at all, period. If you choose to log on to do it the very last day and you find you have issues, when you email me and say, oh, Ms. Bernhardt, I'm so sorry. I know I should have started earlier, or blah, 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 but I have no internet right now, I will respond with, oh, I'm so sorry. That stinks. Maybe next time you should start earlier. I'm not doing it to be a jerk. I'm doing it because you need to learn not to put it off to the last minute. It's a simple lesson, pretty easy, and all you do is make your life harder by stalling. The students who jump in there and immediately knock out their work in the first couple of days have a much easier quarter because, one, they never have work from me for the weekends, ever. They have every weekend off if they want it. And two, presumably this is not the only class you're taking. So if you knock my stuff out as fast as possible, since it's open for so long, you have plenty of time to work on other assignments. There you go. And virtual labs are not just a 5-minute affair. It's going to take time, so make sure you allot the proper time. Okay, late work, again, don't take it. There you go. Email and GMC portal, you have to be online. You should totally be checking and using your GMC email. If you shoot me an email from something like Juicy Fruit 6969, I am not going to know who you are, and chances are it's going to go to the spam folder. So if you use your GMC email, it will show up in my actual inbox and I can respond. If you choose to use your personal email, make sure I know who you are and which class you're in. Otherwise, I can't help you, Okay, Turnitin.com. Okay, so when you write your paper, it will be set up for you to turn it in through Turnitin.com. This checks for plagiarism. Do not plagiarize, please, because if you do, you get a 0. If you do it a second time, I report you because it's straight up cheating. Now, if Turnitin has an issue, I will be announcing it to the class and then I will tell you what to do. If you go to turn in your paper and it doesn't take it because it closed, do not email it to me. You can only give it to me through anything other than Turnitin.com if I tell you to do it a different way. So there you go. Ethics. GMC has a code of ethics. You're supposed to actually, be ethical, behave properly, that kind of thing. We have an honor code of I will neither lie, cheat, steal, nor tolerate those who do. Good thing to understand. Rules. No food or drink allowed. Okay? Couple of reasons. 1, because it's a lab. You're not supposed to do it. 2, because the room we're in has routinely been overrun by ants because people eating in there when they're not supposed to. 3, you're wearing a mask. Last quarter, I had a few people who kept constantly trying to eat in class. They would sit there and lift the mask and stick something in their mouth and put it back down. Don't do that. Yes, I saw it, and I chose last quarter not to call you out because I didn't want to embarrass you in front of the class. It felt rude. I can't take that this time. I have more students this quarter, definitely in my Bio 123. I will be around more people. We are entering flu season, and the past 3 years now, flu season has caused me to go to the emergency room with breathing issues. The mask that you keep on your face, covering your nose, your mouth, and your chin at all times, is protecting me. And I want to be able to breathe, and I would rather not have to go to the ER for breathing treatments right now. So keep your mask on. If you are so friggin' hungry that you have to eat in the 4 hours that you are in the classroom and you can't wait for the break, when I give you a break, then just leave the room. Get out of the room, go eat, and then come back. Whatever. But do not, I repeat, do not eat in the classroom with me. Okay? There you go. A few other student responsibilities. Basically, behave properly. Turn off your phone. Don't sit there like this on the phone. It's so rude. Basically, think about how you would behave in front of your grandmother. If you would not behave like that in front of your grandmother, don't act like that in class. It's that simple. And 4 and 6 are the main ones I want to point here. Number 4, you are not supposed to wear hats or caps or hoods or anything on your head. I know we're wearing masks, and I'm about to get to that again in just a minute, but GMC policy, no hats. And if you're wearing a hoodie and you put it over your head, that counts as a hat. You're not supposed to do that. It's considered disrespectful. It's against GMC dress code. Just take it off. Will it be cold in our room? Oh, heck yeah. Some days it's going to be really friggin' cold. If you want to bring a blanket and bundle up, that's fine. Just don't cover your head. Okay? And finally, number 6. Some people can't handle strong smells. I am one of those people. So we don't want strong perfume or cologne or any of those things. And what you consider strong might not be what other people consider strong. So if you're one of those who goes, shh, that's too much. Don't do it, please. Myself, I cannot handle strong smells. It triggers the asthma. I hate most perfumes and colognes because it's just overwhelming for me. I have also in the past had a student who, if somebody came to class with a strong perfume or a cologne, and actually is the reason I put this in the syllabus, it would trigger this student's migraines. Like right then and there, the person would come in, they would try to move as far away, and then you would see them start melting down, and then they had to leave, and then they would miss their class for like 2 days because of how bad the migraine would hit. I know people don't realize that smell can do that to that degree, but it can. So please, please, please do not do this. Oh, and I guess I should mention, since the cold weather is coming, if you smoke anything at all, cold weather makes that stick to you. So please do your best to refrain from that so you don't bring in clouds of whatever smoke into the room, because that's a whole other story. Okay, COVID-19. This is me just reminding you we are currently in a pandemic. It is contagious. The coronavirus is contagious. It is real. And the mask is the best way to help protect other people from you. Me wearing a mask is not to protect myself. Me wearing a mask is to protect you from me if I happen to be contagious, whether I know it or not. You wearing a mask is to protect those around you and me from you in case you have the coronavirus and you don't know it. Because the thing is, even though we're doing temperature checks, that doesn't mean anything, because if you are asymptomatic, you will not have a fever. There are plenty of people who are asymptomatic, which means you have no sign that you are carrying the virus, but as you walk around talking and breathing, you are spreading that sucker everywhere. And considering, as I am doing this video, the president is positive and a whole chunk of the White House is positive because they figured, we're fine. That hopefully is enough of a lesson that you need to take this seriously and keep your mask on. Your mask needs to cover your nose, your mouth, your chin at all times. You do not pull it off like this to cool off. You do not pull it down like this to talk clearly. I talk through the mask for the whole time. You can talk through the mask for the whole time. I can stand up there and lecture the entire time, and I am asthmatic, and not a light asthmatic, but like seriously asthmatic, and I can do it, and I'm not dying or choking. That means you can do it as well. So keep your mask on, please. If you take it off, I am going to have to start doing disciplinary action and having you leave. And if I have to kick you out for not keeping your mask on properly, it's going to also start affecting your attendance, which will then affect your grade. So just do what you're supposed to do and keep your mask on, covering the nose, the mouth, and the chin at all times, period. Okay? Thank you. Now, additional items. Do your work. That's all this is right here. It's just reminding you, actually look at your textbook, actually do your assignments. Okay? Okay, this is one entire page of your syllabus because somebody every single quarter, even people who have had me before, will attempt to tell me they had no idea. So I'm reminding you, all assignments close at 10 p.m. All assignments close at 10 p.m. on Sunday. And actually, I think I even made it where your exams are going to close at 10 p.m. on Sunday for the online stuff. So 10 p.m. Sunday, always 10 p.m. Never a time other than 10 p.m. Okay? Alrighty. Now, here are how you get your points. There will be 4 exams total. There will be exam 1, 2, 3, and a final exam. Each of those are 100 points. Then we have your lab grades. Each lab is worth 15 points. Then we have your lecture assignment, which is a hybrid grade, which means mandatory for attendance. Then we also have weekly writings, which is your other hybrid grade, which means mandatory. Then we have a lab, it says home/classwork. This is an assignment you will have to do. It takes 3 days to do it. Again, this one you need because if you don't do this one, you cannot do the lab it goes with, and that lab counts double. So if you don't do this one bit of homework, that's going to cost you 75 points right there. You want to do this one. It comes up in, I think, week 3 or 4. And then we have the writing assignment, which is 25 points. Then we also have your weekly quizzes. Weekly quiz means every single week, weeks 1 through 8, you will have a quiz, and these are 10 points apiece. Now, here is the breakdown. Notice, please, no in-person class on Monday, October 5th. Today, the day I'm making this. No in-person class next Monday, which is October 12th. We finally meet October 19th. I have written here what we're supposed to be covering and the labs. So if you notice here, notice you are covering multiple chapters every single week. Every week, multiple chapters. There's a lot because we are doing chapters 13 through 38. It's a lot, just so you know, so be ready. Then every time you see a V next to something, that is a virtual lab. I know there's no V next to the lab safety, but I'm going to do a video covering lab safety, and then you just have to do a quiz. Yeah. Here is the energy budget lab. This is the one where you have homework. You have to do the homework week 3 to do this lab on week 4. Human senses lab, that's an in-person lab. That's the one I'm trying to modify. And the acidification lab, I am testing this out to see when we have to officially start this. Yeah, each of these exams, 1, 2, and 3, are online exams for you because we have so much material we need to cover in person. All of these exams will be online. And then the last week, week 9, we have a cumulative final in class. And just like last quarter, for those who had me, this will be the one where there's the labeling you have to do because there is also labeling in Bio 124. And I will give you stuff to help practice that. Yeah, there you go. Sadly, I had to remove my all-time favorite lab because I couldn't think of a safe way to do it during the coronavirus. If I can make it work, we're still going to get to do it at some point, but I'm trying to find how it's possible because it's a card game, and so I don't know if we could get away with it with doing gloves or something. I'm checking into it. So there might be some adjustments to the labs, just so you know. Okay, so that is it for that part. Now let us come back to this. I can never keep things short. I know. All right, now, what should you do? Read. There you go. You should get your textbook. You should go through it. You should need to make sure you understand the different key words. I am not going to give you a vocabulary test. However, if you don't know what a word means and I use that word in a question, you can't answer it. So you should totally check that out. Throughout the book, they have things like check your progress. They have test yourself, things like that. If you do that routinely, you will know if you've got the hang of things. Another big thing is don't assume you know what something is talking about because of what you have heard previously. Actually pay attention. The reason I say this is we cover evolution. And when we cover evolution, every single quarter, there's a couple of people who just go, and then they shut their brain off and they won't actually listen to anything that's said. Do yourself and myself a huge favor and actually listen to what I'm talking about and don't assume you know what I'm saying. Try to remove your personal bias from the science class, and I will try my hardest to show you what it actually means and not what a lot of people say. And that's going to be in this week's lectures because we start right off with that. I swear that sounded like Tigger for a second. Okay, again, reminder, this is a hybrid course. So you have to do the hybrid assignments. If you miss more than 3 of the hybrid assignments, I have to withdraw you. I have zero intention of opening any of these up this quarter. So if you miss it the first time, you're in trouble. Don't miss it. Do the work, keep on top of it, and we'll all be good. There you go. Email protocol, I covered this last quarter. I'm just going to remind you, don't be too casual when you address me. If you want to just not even put my name in there, I'm actually okay with that. But don't do things like my Linda. And make sure I can read your email. And what I normally ask people to do is before you hit send, read your email out loud and make sure it actually makes sense. Sometimes what we type and we read inside our head makes perfect sense, but if you read it out loud, you will realize you missed words or something isn't quite right. So just read it out loud, make sure it makes sense before you hit send. Okay, now here I ask if there's any questions. Clearly you can't ask me questions right now because I'm making a video and we don't see each other until week 3. But if you thought of any questions, just email them to me. Just anything at all. I will answer them. Then you should check out the chapter 13, 14, and 15 PowerPoints and lecture video. I do not know if I'm going to make them all individually or if it's going to be one big presentation put together. I haven't decided yet because I haven't done it yet. This is my first video for you. And then I would do the lab ones. I'm going to have a lab safety video, and then I'm going to do videos to talk you through the 2 different labs. And then of course there's the lecture assignment. And I'm going to show you that right here. So, ta-da! Oh, I guess I can close that, can't I? There we go. So, oh yeah, you have to do the proof of attendance quiz. Make sure you do it. Week 1 details. You start with your week 1 details. And then here's my personal PowerPoints. These will be the ones that I will use in the presentation that I give you and the ones that I use in class. So those are my personalized ones. The book PowerPoints are the ones that go straight with your book. It is just straight up uploaded from the website and put in there. I make 0 adjustments. Mine, I delete stuff, I might add stuff, I make it mine. It's going to be very like the book PowerPoints, but I will have definitely removed information. So if you want all of it, use the book PowerPoints. Then we have our labs. We have the lab safety quiz. So watch my lab safety video and then, or whatever link I give you for it, and then do the quiz. Then the embryology lab. This tells you exactly what to do. And then the speciation lab. If you notice, this one's a folder. It is a folder because there's a lot of stuff to do. Click on the folder and you will see all of this. You need all of this. Specifically, instructions. For some reason, a lot of people just don't bother reading the instructions and then you get lost. So I will be making you a video to tell you a little bit more about this. And then you have your hybrid lecture assignment. The lecture assignment may or may not have a video that goes with it. So I might do a video and tell you what to do, or I might make reference in one of the lecture videos and say, hey, this is what you need to write about in your lecture assignment. You're never going to know which one it is right off the bat. I may or may not tell you. If you see no directions, then that means it is something having to do with the lecture video I already did. I'm doing this because you have to actually participate in the class. You need to get into the class, and if I am making hours-long videos for lectures to make up for not being in the classroom, you have to watch them too. So the best way of me making you do the lecture assignment is to have it based on the video I post to fulfill the time that would have been spent in a classroom. Make sense? I think so. Critical thinking weekly writing. Again, hybrid course, hybrid assignment. You have to do this. This is going to be a little bit different than last quarter. For those of you who had me last quarter, these are straight up critical thinking type questions out of your textbook. I tried really hard to marry the course and the textbook very closely. And then you have your first quiz. And you have your extra quiz. Yes, I am still doing the extra credit quizzes here. So anything under the tab for practice optional, you do not have to do it. However, if you do it, you get points. And every question from quiz 1, you can find in the extra one. So if you do the extra one first, do it a few times, you will be ready for the quiz. And quiz 1, all of the quizzes, you have 3 chances. But the big thing to remember is of those 3 chances, your grade will be the average of the 3, not the highest grade, the average. So if you open it and use it as a burner just to get the questions, that bad grade is going to be averaged into your best grade. So it would be smarter to do the extra one, answer those questions, and then go to quiz 1. I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to finish updating this. I'm going to upload this video and post it and then get it on here. So then that'll be ready, and I'm going to keep making more videos. You will have varying light behind me because I am spending today, tomorrow, and possibly Wednesday just doing video after video after video. I may have no voice by the end of this, but I want to make sure you're covered. And finally, Zoom. Yes, I have Zoom. If you want to meet me like face-to-face this way, we can totally do Zoom. Just shoot me a message and go, hey, I'd like to do Zoom. And I will set it up, and then we can actually do it. This can be just so you can say, hi, I'm such and such, and I wanted to just get to know you because it's weird not meeting my teacher until week 3. Or it could be, I don't understand, blah, blah, blah. Can you explain it to me? It could be, I am anxious about taking this science class. It can be anything. So if you want to do a Zoom meeting, just let me know and I'll set it up. Fair notice, I'm not a mind reader. So if you say you want to do Zoom, you might want to give me a couple of ideas of when you would want to meet. So like say, hey, this day and this time is good for me, and give me a couple of options, because I also tutor a lot of people on Zoom, so I can't guarantee I'm always going to be free. So the more notice you give me, the more options, the more likely we can find a time that works beautifully for you. And I think that's it. So good luck. Should be a very interesting quarter. It's always an interesting thing, right? All right. Bye.